So, Chris, I don't figure that we'll use like a strict schedule about once a week. I mean, it's been 8 days. I should have responded yesterday on Sunday, a week after you did. But yeah, whenever we get the time. Um, this past week was, it's always busy for me lately. I got my classes rolling, and Thursday, we started a lab where the students are using a triple beam balance scale to identify the mass of three things: a crayon, a chunk of clay, and a popsicle stick. And then they use a graduated cylinder to with volumetric displacement to put the thing in there and see how the water goes up, to figure out the density of the objects. And oh my god, dude, it seems like this should be so fucking simple, but eighth graders don't get it. I mean, I know most people don't read directions, but just they're still in the middle of school. I mean, there's operant conditioning that should be going on. Speaking of operant conditioning, by the way, very good with your daughter, conditioning her to close everything. Then you give her a treat of cheese. I saw that, and the first thing I thought was, very Pavlovian. Um, I'm drinking a vodka lemonade, by the way. This is like my new favorite, next to vodka, vodka tonics. I don't have any tonic, but it's been interesting with the classes. That's going to be the thing I talk about the most. It's taking up the most amount of my time and the most amount of my thought. I'm trying to get my middle level endorsement moved out to Washington, and just bureaucratic BS, man. The Office of Public Instruction, Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction, OSPI, out here in Washington, it's the state board. They have a form for me to file with Illinois, so I filed it with Illinois, or with NIU rather. So I filed it with NIU's Office of Educator Licensure and Preparation, and that office said we can't say anything about what he can do. So OSPI out here in Washington is like, the fuck. So I got a hold of the Illinois State Board of Education, and I'm trying to get them to figure it out. And I'm currently just three different friggin' bureaucracies, and nobody can just be like, oh yeah, he knows how to teach science, even though I've got a piece of paper that says just that individual piece of paper. Not acceptable. So, on the subject of student loans, while you're finally, at a point where you can refinance them and have them paid off sometime in the next 10 years, I'm finally financially at a point where I can start paying my student loan. Now, luckily, I only have one student loan. I don't know if you remember, but I did most of my education on the GI Bill. So I've only got about $10K worth of student loans, but Lexi's got like about 30 or so. So we're getting set. I mean, you're talking about an expensive apartment at $900 a month. Our rent just went up to $1,060, and it's still one of the nicest, cheapest apartments that we could find. We're looking at maybe getting a house. There's a place in a town not too far from here that Lexi really likes the look of on the outside, so we're thinking about going up and taking a look at it on the inside to see what's going on with that. I'm probably selling my motorcycle. I spent like an hour tonight talking with a dude who's interested in it. I'm going to try and get $1,000 for it, which is a pretty good deal, which will let me fix some of the stuff that's going on with my car. Just normal adult stuff. Groceries, we have none. Lexi and I have been eating out so much, which is so expensive and yet so tasty. It's such a double-edged sword, because now we don't have as much money to spend on groceries, but we've had good food. But that's really about all it is. I don't do a lot now. I wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'm at school by 7 a.m. I'm usually not leaving there until, in my early days, 4:30. When I have to teach the driver's ed in the afternoons, I don't leave middle school until 5:30, and then I go take an hour off before teaching a 2-hour driver's ed class at night. I had my first weekend off, 2 whole days this past weekend. I didn't know what to do with myself. I did absolutely fucking nothing, as a matter of fact. Not a damn thing. It was amazing. And on that note, as soon as I finish this video, I gotta go grade papers because I'm a teacher. Because as much as I hated school, I chose a job that was gonna make me be in school all day, every day, forever, with lots of homework. But on the plus side, I'm actually rigging up an experiment to show to the kids because we're talking about chemistry right now. So we are going to be discussing input of energy and output of energy and chemical changes versus physical changes. And I'm going to recreate something that I got to do, or that not I got to do, but I'm going to recreate something that my 8th grade science teacher did because now I'm the 8th grade science teacher and I get to do it. I'm going to take a pop bottle, and maybe I'll make a video of it and show you exactly what I do for them because I'm going to be testing it. I'm going to take a pop bottle, probably a 16-ounce bottle, 2 electrodes in it, water with an electrolyte solution, probably washing soda, which is chemically reacted baking soda, I guess. Figure out how to make it. I'd probably just buy it because I'm lazy. With a balloon on top. And then as the electricity comes in, the electrolysis occurs, and the hydrogen and the oxygen atoms in the water will separate from each other. And the hydrogen atoms having a negative charge because they have an extra electron will form on hydrogen will form on one, oxygen will form on the other one. I'm going to fill up the balloon and I'm going to hit it with a lighter and watch the thing go in front of all my students because they're 8th graders and they're all like, are we going to blow stuff up in chemistry? And I'm like, yes, we will, because I am the science teacher and I can do that. This is my big plan. These are the kinds of things I'm looking forward to, showing teenagers how to blow shit up. I was talking with Lexi earlier, and I remember being told by a member of my parents' church that I was a bad influence on a kid at church with me, that I was a negative influence on his life, that I did things that would cause him to be ungodly or whatever. Fucking, I don't give a shit. And now I'm a school teacher. Can't beat that. I'll talk to you later, man.